I'm honestly not shocked. I think I've known Laurie since high school. Laurie's been this type of player. I think he's just gotten an opportunity to do it on a national stage where everybody's playing, get consistent playing time and have a consistent role. He's a hell of a player, man. He can, I think this game, what do you have, like 46 on 5 dribbles or something like that? Like, to be able to do that, that's impressive. To be able to lead this team and a lot of uncertainty for both ends. What was to come for him to thrive in this role. I think is something that's truly special to see, and I'm happy for him. He's having a lot of success, and all-star starter. So it's been great to see. Uh, I'd probably say Carl, just from his scoring standpoint, his ability to get a bucket. What is he, top 4 in all-time scoring? Is it? So it's a lot of points that he put up there, and he's done a lot for obviously this franchise, this state. So I would definitely say if I had to choose, I'd be the one passing to Carl.
Donovan, it's approaching the anniversary of hip hop music. What is your earliest memory of hearing hip hop?
My earliest memory. I could be wrong, but I probably want to say something from Dipset, um, Cam for sure, Jadakiss, Fab, um, obviously Jay Z. Jay Z's probably first and foremost, but I would say probably those guys for sure. That would be nice. Obviously I'm gonna come in there and I'm not gonna try and shoot every shot, but close to every shot. And just like I said, just have fun. I think that's the biggest thing is kind of going into these spaces and really appreciating, the moment of where I'm at. It'd be great to win MVP. Like I said, I've had a lot of full circle moments this year. And that'd be another one, And at the end of the day, I think for myself, just continuing to find ways to appreciate everything, and that'd be a great moment. Man, it's great. Ricky and Raul have been phenomenal. They were a big instrumental part of my career, helping me get to be the player I am today. And to be back here, all these years later, in a similar situation, trying to get to a championship, trying to get to the playoffs, trying to continue to build, it's phenomenal. Those guys are the best, and I'm grateful to be able to be with those group of guys. And Raul's actually here. He came to my comedy show, so it was good to see him and his wife and just be around. But it's great to have the guys when you're going into a situation where you didn't know what to expect. Yep. That's a tough one. It's an ongoing dialogue right now. I think it's a lot of stuff that comes with that. I'm not going to say too much about it. I think for me, I came into this league at an 82 game season. If they shortens it, it shortens it. I think at the end of the day, um, I've understood the necessity of kind of taking care of your body. Obviously, you want to be able to put on a show and put on and perform for everybody that comes to every arena and see you play. But at the end of the day, the guys that make this league, as players, we understand that if we're not out there because we're not healthy, we can't provide that excitement and that exposure. So it's a tough conversation to have, and we're continuously having it as a league, and it'll be interesting. But for me, right now it's an 82 game season. I'm preparing for it and trying to be the best, and then we get to the playoffs, be even better. So that's my goal. I actually went back to my old crib, just really chilled. I've been kind of out the way and kind of just chilling. But I had a comedy show. Walters for sure. May Walter rest in peace. He passed away. Not sure how too long ago, but Walters is definitely a spot that I love. I go there all the time. Those people show me a lot of love, and I appreciate it. They're incredible. So, for sure, I'd pick me too. I would have no composure. I'd probably be freaking out. Um, I'd probably just call it quits. To be honest, be like, look, at this point, we're already gone, so we might as well just figure. But I'm not the person for that. Yeah, I have. And we didn't really speak too much just about it. Just like obviously he's going back to reunite with Rudy, and he's going to play with a phenomenal player in Anthony Edwards, and I think for him, you know, there's uncertainty there. Like what happens after this season, and there's a lot of uncertainty with everybody. With everybody. So, just great to see him out there playing. Just continue to play the game he loves. It's definitely tough. And this is not him saying. This is me saying. This is definitely tough. I know Mike's have deep roots here. His kids, his wife. Just being able to be away from them mid-season, I think that's definitely tough. He's only been on 2 teams in his entire career, so for this to happen like this, it's definitely tough. But he's a vet, he's a pro, and he'll continuously play at a high level, and it's always great to see him thriving. Yeah. Yeah. It's allowed me to have a different process. Allowed me to kind of sit and kind of be where my feet are. Understanding that I always knew I could be this player, and now that I'm starting to, quite frankly, play like it. Just having that level of confidence every night, every game, coming into, not overreacting to wins, not overreacting to losses, not overreacting to good performances, bad performances, what's being said about me, what's not being said, all that, kind of just being content and being, I wouldn't say content because that's complacency, but like kind of being at peace where you are and just finding ways to get better. And like I said, I'm going to continue to get better every year by year, but, it's crazy, kind of sitting in reflection a lot this year. It's like, man, I'm appreciative of, the necessary steps I took to get to this point, and I'm looking to get better continuously. Jay-Z, Drake, probably Beyonce. Say again? Man, I was just talking about the full circle moments. I was in college in my dorm watching when he got the stop on Steph Curry in Game 6, when he had 34 in the quarter, when Kelly Olynyk dislocated his shoulder, when he had to pass to Bron. So for me, like I came into this like, man, I'm a fan. Like, you know what I mean? And for him, he's been nothing but he's beat my expectations. He's allowed me to ask a ton of questions about my entire childhood, for real, like not childhood, but like early years when I watched him play, to be able to be out there and just ask him, man, what did you feel during this? Well, what happened here? Well, why did you guys lose this game? Well, why did y'all win this? What did you do during these breaks? How did you take care of your body? Like, he's been phenomenal in that way. I'm forever grateful for that, because guys aren't always like that. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something that I really appreciate. And as far as a teammate, as a player, he's one of the best. He's definitely a pro. Teaching me little nuances that he sees throughout the game. The way him and Darius Garland have bonded. I've only been there a short period of time, but just to see those two interact, and DG really link on to him and kind of find ways to grow, and kind of he's being his vet. He's been a great locker room guy. And, I don't have all the details, but obviously what's been reported, I wish him nothing but the best. He's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal to me, but also to the city of Cleveland. Everywhere we go, there's a Kevin Love jersey. Every city, doesn't matter where we're at, it's Kevin Love, Kevin Love, Kevin Love, and that just shows you the impact he's had on this league and also this organization.
What city needs an NBA team that doesn't have one?
Louisville, Kentucky. Uh, I don't know, the Louisville. You could pick the name. I don't know about that, but definitely give Louisville, Kentucky one for sure.
And what's your all-time dunk contest if you wanted it?
Michael Jordan, Zach LaVine, John Morant, Vince Carter. Yeah. No. Oh, so I did know that, actually. I did know, because Rafa, our radio guy, he calls me that all the time, and I didn't know if that was Portuguese. I didn't know if that was Spanish. I didn't know which one it was, but yeah. How do I say that? So, so Aranha. There we go. Well, first of all, I didn't know we had as many Cavs fans in Brazil as we do, until I see on Twitter. So first of all, we really appreciate the love. I appreciate it. It's been phenomenal. We got Raul Zinho with us, obviously Anderson Varejao, so it's definitely appreciated. We appreciate the love, and we'll continue to put on a show for you guys. So thank you. So we played OKC in Game 6 here. I had scored like 10 straight to start the third quarter. Jay Crowder misses a free throw. No, Fave misses a free throw. Jay Crowder gets the rebound, passes it to, I forgot who's on the wing, and I come sprinting in from the other side of the court and coming to hit the three, and OKC has to call timeout. That's something that really resonates with me because that's when one of those moments you look back and you realize like you're in the zone. And it was like my first playoff series, my first really potential closeout game, and I performed the way I did. I was pretty shocked at that time, and then for me to have that was pretty special. Really? I had no idea. I got to ask him about it before I comment on it, but I definitely got to ask him about it. But that's pretty dope. Yeah. No, I think that's for the fans and for you guys to kind of come in and talk about. I think at the end of the day, we're here. We're at All Star Weekend. It's an honor just to be here. You know, whoever gets picked last, if it's like even when we did it when we were all at home, like if you get picked last, it's whatever. At the end of the day, I worked hard to be an All Star. You're here at All Star Weekend, and it's a blessing. You know, at the end of the day, we're not worried about who gets picked last. I think that's for everybody else to kind of speculate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're real. I typically have them on, but I just came from practice. I'm very blind. I tell you that. I know that. I can't see, so I don't. But I don't wear contacts during the game. I just guess. Yeah, can't even see. And I'm not even lying to you about that. I tried contacts in the preseason, and I shot like 26% from the field. So I don't know what it was. It was this season though, and I tried contacts, and it was terrible. And then practices were even worse. So after that, I was just like, not really. It's not that bad. I think I'm doing pretty well. I think the biggest thing is first of all our effort, and obviously we have talent to score offensively, but defensively I think will be our staple. I think it's something that we will continue to build upon as a group. Like I said, we have guys that haven't been to the playoffs, and I don't think that'll matter. I think we have a group of guys that really, continue to put the work in. So when the time comes, we'll be ready to go, and I'm excited to see what we have going forward. Yeah, I wouldn't say this year in particular. I think the last few years it's been a lot of, I would say really after COVID until now, I think it's been a lot of, really outside of like Golden State has really been the only consistent, outside of, Cleveland when Brown was here. I think there's a lot of different things that can happen. There's knock on wood for everybody in here, but there's injuries, there's health is a big factor. There's luck, there's seeding, there's who you get picked. Because you look at the West, you may run into the Lakers first round. Like, what I mean? That's not nothing to sleep about. And in the East, it's the same thing. You got a lot of talented teams at the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. So there's no guarantees. You got to go out there. You got to take everything. You got to earn it. You got to work for it, and you got to be ready when your bell's called. I think at the end of the day we have a group of guys that they put the time and the work in throughout the regular season that'll equate to success in the playoffs. And I think for us it's not putting too much pressure on that moment. And I think we have a lot of guys that are really good at that. Darius Garland, obviously Evan Mobley, and Isaac Okoro are really the three out of our starting group, our core group that haven't been. And I think with the vets that we have, the guys that we have supporting, I think it's a great mixture for sure. Woo. Sorry. Guilty pleasure. Probably Heaven Sent by Keisha Cole. Yeah, that's my song. Yeah, so shout out to everybody in the Philippines. I went there a few years ago. You were there. You were there. It's something I really want to go back to at some point and go back and see. I definitely shout out to everybody in the Philippines. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love, and hopefully I get to represent my country for sure. Sounds familiar, but I don't really remember. Go ahead. Yeah. I just looked it up on Google, and it looked like pretty pretty sweet to go to. I'm just all about traveling to different places. I know the travel is it's a long flight, but it's definitely something at some point in my life I want to definitely make that trip. Man, these script jokes are getting out of hand. First and foremost, I don't know. I know I didn't get my script. I don't know. I mean, that's the goal. That's why we play this game. So hopefully we get that done. What up? How you doing? Yeah, I was trash. Yeah, I didn't get picked first a lot. I got picked last a bunch of times. I was a baseball player growing up too, so um, I was not really good at basketball until like my sophomore year of college for real. So like I've been like average, so I haven't really been a. Now if it came to baseball, I'd be picked first for sure. Yeah. Say again. It definitely top three as far as rowdiness and loudness and craziness. I've played in the playoffs every year. I've only been in the West, obviously. Um, OKC's up there too, but Utah, OKC. I'm not tripping. Where else have we played? We played Houston like every time in the playoffs. Am I missing anything? Golden State. I've never been to Golden State in the playoffs. Um, can't sleep on the Garden, obviously, in the playoffs, which we saw when they played the Hawks. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Cleveland. What am I talking about? Cleveland. I've never been. Actually, I have. I went when they played Golden State in the playoffs, and just the intro, the city, the vibe. So I would rank Utah top four for sure. It's I can't put it in order, but it's top four. Yeah. Obviously, it's something that I obviously want to win the award for sure. But I can't lie. I don't know if y'all been watching what Jokic has been doing. It's fucking outrageous to be honest. Obviously, I don't know how many people have won it 3 times in a row, but I definitely feel like I'm in that conversation as well. But he's otherworldly right now, and he's been doing it at such a level. And I think you saw it with Braun a few years ago. I think Giannis, like we get bored with like success. We want to change it up, but sometimes it just remains the same. And I think he's a guy that's definitely up there. You look at JT, who's having a phenomenal year. Luka's having a phenomenal year. Giannis, Joel. I think Joel needs to be highly regarded as well. I think he gets highly disrespected. He's a guy that consistently every night puts on for his group. And even in the past year, the whole Ben situation, not knowing who was going to be on the floor, and he continuously carried his team. I think he deserves a lot of respect in that race as well. But if I had to choose, you look at what Jokic and Joel are doing as a tandem. I think separately. I think those two definitely deserve their respect. Oh, what up, man? Yeah. In a high school game, JV high school game. How many minutes is a high school game? In 32 minutes, I could try to get about 70. I mean, I probably wouldn't pass. I probably wouldn't pass at all. I probably 70, no assist. But definitely, and especially if it's a JV game for sure. No discredit to anybody in JV. Continue to work. I don't want that to be anything out there. Yeah. Yeah. Sharpest teammate, IQ wise. Basketball IQ, yeah. Because Robin Lopez is up there for IQ. I'm not talking about just basketball, too. Ricky Rubio. Mike Conley, Joe Ingles. I would say those three for sure. No, I'm happy to be a part of this. It's my first time being a starter. I'm back where it all started for me, so I'm just blessed to be here. When I close my eyes and I breathe, it goes back to the. So typically make 25 in a row before I leave the gym. So I kind of go back to that last place, wherever that is for me. Sometimes it's at the home gym, sometimes it's at the away gym. But just going back to where I've last made 25 in a row and kind of put myself in that space.
All right, guys, I hope that you are loving all of the action that we've had here at NBA All-Star Media Day.